If you were about to click buy on the M4 Mac Mini, stop everything. We have just received confirmed leaks, production shifts, and internal benchmarks for the upcoming Apple M5 Mac Mini that completely changed the value proposition of Apple's desktop lineup. We aren't just talking about a small spec bump here, we are looking at the first Fusion architecture chiplet design in a compact Mac, a monumental leap in AI processing through a new neural accelerator (GPU), and a machine that is currently putting dedicated desktop workstations on notice. In this video, I'm breaking down the authentic leaks, the March 2026 production shifts to Texas, and exactly why this M5 monster is being called the studio killer by those inside Cupertino. If you care about future-proofing your desk setup for the next decade, you cannot afford to miss a single second of this deep dive. Let's get into the silicon. The M4 Mac Mini was already a massive hit because of its tiny redesign, but the M5 is where Apple is truly flexing its engineering muscles. The headline here is the M5 chip itself. Unlike the monolithic designs we've seen since the M1, the M5 series is shifting toward a vertically stacked die structure. This is what internal documents are calling Fusion architecture. By stacking components, Apple has drastically reduced the physical distance data has to travel between the CPU, GPU, and memory. For you, that means lower latency and a massive boost in bandwidth, climbing to a confirmed 153 GB per second on the base model. That is a 30% increase over the M4 just by changing how the chip is physically built. But the real magic is inside the cores. The M5 isn't just adding more cores, it's making them supercores. The base M5 is expected to feature a 10-core CPU consisting of 4 high-performance supercores and 6 efficiency cores. In early Geekbench 6 leaks appearing this month, we are seeing single-core scores jump by nearly 15 to 19%. This puts the base M5 Mac Mini in a position where it actually rivals the multi-core performance of last year's M4 Pro. Imagine getting pro-level power in a $599 entry-level box. That's the kind of value shift that only happens once every few years. Now, let's talk about the GPU, because this is where the M5 leaves the competition in the dust. Every single GPU core in the M5 now includes a dedicated neural accelerator. This is separate from the standard neural engine. In real-world rendering tasks, the M5 is showing a staggering 45% uplift in graphics performance. We are seeing benchmarks where the M5 is outperforming mid-range dedicated desktop cards. While the Mac Mini won't get the Max chip, the base M5 and M5 Pro are benefiting from this same architectural shift. If you are a video editor or a 3D artist, the third-generation ray tracing engine in the M5 is going to make your workflow feel like you've jumped forward 5 years in time. For the power users watching, the M5 Pro Mac Mini is the one you've been waiting for. The leaks suggest Apple is finally standardizing Thunderbolt 5 across the Pro Mini lineup. With 120 gigabits per second transfer speeds, you can run multiple 8K displays and external SSD arrays without a single bottleneck. This is the first time the Mac Mini has truly stepped into the territory of the Mac Studio. In fact, many analysts believe the M5 Pro Mini will be so powerful that Apple may have to rethink the positioning of the Mac Studio entirely. One of the most authentic and verified details we've uncovered involves where these machines are being made. Apple is reportedly moving a significant portion of Mac Mini production to a Foxconn facility in Texas. This isn't just a logistical move, it's a strategic one to avoid international supply chain delays and potentially keep the price stabilized for the North American market. Despite the massive performance jump, we expect the base price to stay at $599. However, there are very strong rumors that Apple might finally double the base storage to 512 GB across the board. If that happens, the value-to-performance ratio of this machine becomes unbeatable. Speaking of AI, that is the force multiplier for the M5. With Apple Intelligence and the new macOS Tahoe becoming more deeply integrated, the M5's neural engine is being optimized for local large language models. We are talking about running complex AI tasks like real-time video upscaling and generative text entirely on-device with zero latency. While the M4 can handle basic Apple Intelligence, the M5 is built for the next generation of generative tools that haven't even been released yet. It is the ultimate future-proof machine for the AI era. So, when can you actually get your hands on this? The roadmap points directly to a late spring or summer 2026 launch. We've seen supply chain activity suggesting a potential reveal as early as mid-March, with a fallback to WWDC in June. If you are using an M1 or M2 Mac Mini, the jump to M5 is going to be monumental. It's not just a faster version of what you have, it's a completely different class of computer. Even if you are on an Intel Mac, and yes, we know some of you still are, this is the definitive moment to switch. The design of the chassis is expected to stay the same as the M4 Mini, which makes sense given that it was just redesigned last year. It will remain that ultra-compact, 5-inch by 5-inch box on your desk, but with internal cooling optimized by what leaks are calling thermal pillars, a new heatsink design that allows the M5 Pro to maintain its super core clock speeds without thermal throttling. This means you can push this tiny machine through a 2-hour 8K export, and it won't break a sweat. Let's look at the connectivity upgrades because for the US audience, Wi-Fi 7 is the new standard we've been waiting for. The M5 Mac Mini will include Apple's new N1 wireless chip, bringing Wi-Fi 7 and Bluetooth 6 to the desktop. If you have a modern router, your wireless speeds will finally match your wired Ethernet. And for those who prefer the wire, the 10 gigabits Ethernet option remains, making this a perfect microserver or Plex powerhouse. To summarize, the M5 Mac Mini is bringing 153 GB per second bandwidth, a 45% graphics boost, Thunderbolt 5 on Pro models, and a chiplet-based architecture that redefines efficiency. It is the most powerful per square inch computer Apple has ever conceived. But there's one more thing. The M5 Pro version is rumored to support up to 64 GB of unified memory. For developers and data scientists, having 64 GB of high-speed RAM in a box this small is a dream come true. It effectively eliminates the need for a bulky tower for 90% of professional workflows. This is why we are calling it the Studio Killer. When the Mini is this good, the reason to spend thousands more on a Mac Studio starts to disappear for everyone except the most extreme power users. If you're sitting there with an M4 Mini you just bought, don't panic. It's still a great machine. But if you are on the fence, the M5 is the generational leap that justifies the wait. We are seeing a move away from incremental updates and a move toward AI-first hardware. The neural accelerators in the GPU are the smoking gun. Apple is no longer just building a computer, they are building an AI workstation that fits in the palm of your hand. We also have to consider the environmental impact, which is a big deal for Apple's 2030 goals. The M5 Mac Mini is expected to be Apple's first completely carbon-neutral desktop from day one of production. By using 100% recycled aluminum and the high-efficiency supercores, this machine pulls less power from your wall while delivering double the performance of the machines it's replacing. It's a win for your electricity bill and a win for the planet. As we head into the second half of 2026, the desktop landscape is going to look very different. With Windows OEMs struggling to match Apple's efficiency per watt, the M5 Mac Mini is poised to dominate the prosumer market. Whether you're a college student, a creative professional, or someone who just wants a reliable home office setup that won't be obsolete in 3 years, the M5 is the answer. I want to hear from you. Is the M5 Mac Mini enough to make you skip the M4? Or are you holding out for the M6 touchscreen MacBook rumors we've been hearing about? The tech world moves fast, and at TechVibe, we are here to make sure you never miss a beat. If you found this deep dive helpful, do me a huge favor and hit the like button, it really helps the channel reach more tech enthusiasts like you. And if you want to stay ahead of every Apple leak, product launch, and deep dive benchmark, make sure you're subscribed to TechVibe with notifications turned on. We have a massive comparison coming up between the M5 and the leaked M5 Ultra Mac Studio as soon as those final numbers land. You won't want to miss it. We've covered the silicon, the production shifts to Texas, the AI neural accelerators, and T. He release window. The ball is in Apple's court now, but the leaks are so consistent at this point that the picture is very clear. The M5 Mac Mini is the new king of compact computing. Before we go, I want to thank you for being part of the TechVibe community. We strive to bring you the most authentic, research-backed tech news on the internet. Your support allows us to keep digging into the supply chain to bring you these early looks. Stay tuned for our next video where we look at the leaked Apple Fold and how it integrates with the M5 ecosystem. It's going to be a wild year for tech. Thanks for watching TechVibe, and I'll see you in the next one. Don't buy that M4 yet, the future is just a few months away. Peace.